Hey, yo, what's good, gang? It's your boy, Luminati15. And you have just tuned in to DPG TV, Talk That Shit podcast. You know the fucking vibes. So, we here with an exclusive man directly from the Bronx. We have an artist directly from Asia, more specifically Taiwan, the one and only Askid. Talk to him, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm Askid from Taiwan. What's good?
So Askid is actually here on a trip directly from Taiwan, visiting the hometown, the birthplace of hip-hop. So tell us, Askid, how has your experience been here in New York City?
I think it's very cool in New York because I saw a lot of music video and hip-hop movie in Taiwan.
Okay.
And very scene is really like Bronx. But when I got to the Manhattan, the city I look is very different.
Okay.
Like many different people, white people and black people and like Asian. It's very big city and so different from my brand. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me something, Askid. What was your first experience with hip hop? You know, in Asia,
Yeah.
hip hop has been growing throughout the years. But what was your first experience coming in contact with hip hop culture or rap?
My first experience is when I was a kid, and I listened to the radio on my mom's car. Yeah, she just randomly played the music, and I saw this music is crazy. I don't have any melody and just like talking, but with flow, with the rhyme, and I think it's really cool. So I just fall in love with the rap song. Yeah.
So we shot a freestyle with you a little bit earlier, and
Yes.
I must say that I did pick up on a lot of boom bap influence on your flow.
Yeah.
So could you tell us, like, who is your favorite or the person that influenced you most in hip hop?
I think it's like Wu-Tang Clan and Kanye West.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have Wu-Tang and Kanye, so that's two. Who would you put up on your Mount Rushmore of hip hop?
I think I will put Biggie and Tupac because these two guys is very iconic. And when I was a kid, I searched like American hip hop rapper, and these two guys just bump up on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think another one is, let me think. Let me think about it. What I just say?
You said Biggie, Tupac, Wu-Tang, and Kanye.
Just four?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's your Mount Rushmore right there. Now, I don't want to sound stereotypical, but what about Wu-Tang actually gravitated to you? Because we do see that Wu-Tang was a very iconic and very influential group of individuals from Staten Island.
Yeah.
But they gravitated and took a lot of inspiration from Asian culture. We've seen in the documentaries and in the shows that depicted how they created Wu-Tang, that they took a lot of inspiration from like the kung fu and fighting films that came from Asia in the 80s and 90s. So what type of influence did Wu-Tang have on you?
Because I just saw the Wu-Tang American Saga, the show, the TV show, and I think I just relate to the Razor because I run a hip hop group in Taiwan.
Okay.
And I need to produce, I need to rap, I need to organize my homies, put it together. And I think, well, what Razor do in the 90s and the 80s is what I'm doing now.
What you're trying to do now in Taiwan.
Yeah, so I think, and how he produced the music, how to sample it, and I learned it from the music. Yeah.
So you see a lot of RZA within yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. So me, my Mount Rushmore of hip hop would have to start off with Big Pun, right? Because Big Pun literally is the person that kicked in the door to make the Latino people actually seem profitable in the urban market of music.
Yeah.
Because before Pun, Spanish people actually dominated a lot in different genres of music like salsa, merengue.
Yeah.
So he was the person that kicked in the door to show that, you know, that the Spanish person is validated and it's possible for them to be marketable within the hip hop lane. And then my next two would be Biggie and Tupac. Biggie, because Biggie's a storyteller in his own right.
Yeah.
And I do believe that Tupac is a very big storyteller, but I feel like Tupac was more impactful because of the message that was in his words.
Yeah.
Tupac was very much toned into reflecting his environment and the struggles that his people were going through technically in his music, and that's what made him so iconic. And people would be like, oh, but you're promoting gun violence, or you're promoting being aggressive towards authority, and he goes, no, I'm promoting what's going on in my neighborhood, in my environment,
lifestyle.
exactly.
It's really real.
And then my ending for the 2000s would have to be the one and only, rest in peace, big shout out to DMX.
Yeah,
DMX was a savage in his own right. The only man in history to drop 2 platinum albums in 1 year, and DMX, I do believe, was capable of chewing up anybody. And one of my favorite memories of my favorite rapper, Big Pun, actually took place with him and DMX sitting at a table with other people's like Raekwon, Mos Def, and Cannabis, literally spitting a freestyle cipher in between all of them, and all of them holding their own. So I do believe that would be my Mount Rushmore. Big Pun, Biggie and Tupac, and DMX. Now, one thing I want to go into, because me and you also had conversations in the background of how you did graffiti.
Yeah.
Right? So before we jump into that, can you please explain to me, like, how was your experience coming here to the Bronx? Because, the Bronx is the mecca of hip-hop, but we did have a conversation in the background. You were like, a relative of yours was like, don't go.
Yeah.
That's not good. So now that you heard the warning from your people, and now that you're here with me and Rizzo behind the camera, how would you say that your experience coming to the Bronx has been?
I think it's not dangerous as I thought, because when we walk around and every people is so friendly.
Yeah.
And say hi and holler at we. Yeah, it's cool. I think
Okay.
it's friendly neighborhood.
All right. So on that half, right, we also spoke about you being into graffiti.
Yeah.
And one jewel of knowledge that I want to drop to you is graffiti has always been an art form. It's now considered art. But, I have experiences where through my platform, we try to make sure that the Bronx is always looked at through a positive light. The Bronx is very positive, is very welcoming. All we ask is that whoever comes here to learn of the culture treats it with respect, treats it with honor and value. And one of those examples, if I can speak to you about it, is actually graffiti behind us, right? Right here we have the I Love the Bronx mural. And this is very well known within here in the Bronx. They do have these things that they run around here called hip-hop tours, where they take European and Spaniards and they show them the art within the Bronx. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like when it comes down to anything hip-hop, you also have to speak about the pain and suffering that comes behind that art. And I've sat down here, right here across the street in the corner, and seen how they just explain to these individuals that come in these tours that this is graffiti, this is art, this is a way of expression. But they never sat there and told any of these individuals that get into these tours the dark upbringing. No, go ahead. The dark upbringing that comes from this art form, right? There's a lot of pain and suffering that came behind graffiti. The people that paved the way for it to be an art now, a lot of these individuals have passed away. A lot of them passed away bombing trains, but also a lot of them did a lot of time and got time taken from them, because back then this was not considered art. This was literally vandalism. It was destruction of property, and a lot of people believed in it so much, and they wanted to get their names out there, that they continued to do it. So there's a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and suffering behind the art of graffiti. So I just wanted to pass on that jewel of knowledge to you, because we've had conversations, and you told me that you do graffiti, you do rap, and you like to teach yourself and indulge in the knowledge of the art forms of hip-hop. So I just want you to take this jewel that I just gave you now and take it to your friends in Asia and just be like, look, this is cool now, but we also have to pay respect and pay homage to the people that lost their lives, making sure that graffiti was literally acknowledged in society as an art form. The people that had 10 to 15 to 20 years of life taken away from them because they wanted to express themselves on these walls. So that's just a little bit of knowledge that I want you to pass on to Taiwan and stuff like that. But besides that, I also want to give you a lot of props, because while you were spitting your freestyle with us, I noticed the boom bap influence within you. And I couldn't understand half of your lyrics, but the other lyrics I did understand. But I do appreciate that your music is so organic to the point where I can bop my head to it. Because I feel like that's why hip hop made it so worldwide because even if you don't understand it, you can still
Yeah.
feel the music. And with me hearing you while you were recording your freestyle with us, I can feel your flow. I can feel, and kind of like off of the vibe that I got from the music and the beat that you chose, I can understand somewhat what you were saying and could relate to it.
Yeah,
So I just want to
appreciate it.
give you your props on that. But before we go on, right, this has been an amazing experience for me. One thing I want to tell you guys, tap in because this will not be the last time that you see or hear from Askid. Askid also told us when he gets home, he's gonna tap in with us and we're gonna do a full-blown interview with him from the Talk That Shit podcast set online, and he will be blessing us with some of his music videos and some of his art form in Taiwan. And then hopefully, if the financial situations get set correctly as soon as possible, I will be trying to take a trip out to Taiwan and linking up with Askid out there in Taiwan as well, so he can show us the hip hop scene out there and what hip hop looks like in Taiwan. But before we set off, Askid, tell them where they can find you. Tell them what you got coming up right now. So tell the people what's up.
Okay, it's your boy Askid, and you can find my music on YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music, and Spotify. And I'm gonna drop my new album in this summer, so stay tuned for that shit.
You know the vibes. Your boy Askid, Luminati15. Big shout out to G2 Rizzo in the background for running the optics and the camera. And like I said, this won't be the last you see from Askid. You know, pray for us. And most likely by the end of the year or possibly 2026, you will see us in Taiwan with Askid. You know the vibes.
Yes, sir.
Boo!